If you haven't watched the part 1 of this, then make sure you go watch it now. I posted it a couple of weeks ago, and it's of the prompt analysis of the essay that we're going to start writing today. So in this video, we're going to write the introduction of an essay that I analysed the prompts for last time about beauty. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to write and to get into it. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate Robson and I scored 80 in section 2 of the GAMSAT in the March 2021 sitting. And since then, I've kind of just been making videos on here about helping you guys be able to do that as well. It's lots of fun. So if you are new here, click that subscribe button. Let me know that you like this kind of content. Leave a like and a comment below. And yeah, join the community. It's lots of fun. Like I said, today we're going to be writing the first paragraph of our Task B essay. For our Task B essay, I write a reflective style. If you don't know about that already, then go and check out this video where I go into detail about the structure, kind of the steps to it. Since then, I've actually developed that and created an online course, and I go into detail about how to actually write your reflective essays and how to write your anecdotes, particularly in that course. So if you're looking for some more detailed advice and helpful advice, then feel free to sign up for that one. I'll put the link in the video description. But other than that, I'm just going to get straight into it and we'll write this anecdote. So yeah, I start with an anecdote, which is kind of like a story or a memory from my own experience that's going to tell the story of the thesis that I'm trying to write in this essay. From last time, I remember that the prompts were particularly about the power of beauty. At least that's how they stood out to me. And I think the third one I really liked the most because it was about the power of the beauty of nature. And although I kind of liked the other ones as well, I think this one rang true to me because I do believe in the power of nature being quite this like shared objective beauty that we can revel in as humans, because I think that there's some power in nature from bringing humans outside of ourselves and into the land and into the world. And in that way, we're like quite intrinsically connected to the land that we live on, and which is also a part of Indigenous teaching as well that I think Australia kind of lacks learning more about and putting into our studies within primary school and things, which are really interesting. So if you don't know about that sort of stuff, go do your research. It's amazing. I might write about it in this essay, but it's that sort of thing. I also read a book last year called Phosphorescence by Julia Baird. She's an Australian journalist, and it's about like the sense of wonder and awe that we feel when we're in a beautiful piece of nature or just like in the grandness of nature. So I think I want to write my essay on that. And I'm going to start by telling a story from my own life to kind of like elicit that emotion from the reader, to use a story to tell them that's what I think and hopefully to convince them to think that as well. So last time I decided that I'm going to use a story from when I was in, I think it was Montenegro, and I was with a couple friends traveling and we climbed on top of this like beautiful mountain and just looked over the view of the land in this a strange country that I had never been to before, this foreign country that I barely even knew existed, but that we shared together, my friends and strangers, the beauty of that sight, of the feeling of witnessing something bigger than us and being able to experience that not only individually but together, I think was really special. And it kind of took us outside of ourselves and made us forget the problems that we might have had as friends. And so in that sense, I think nature has an ability to take you outside of yourself that I really want to connect with in this essay. So I'm going to start writing that story. We'll see how it goes, and I'll check in with you in a sec. Okay. I think I've written it. I'll read it out for you guys now so that you can go through it. We'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll see how it is. Okay, so what I've written is, "We're the kings of the world," we yelled, atop an awe-inspiring mountain range covered in ancient European ruins in a small town in Montenegro. I'm not sure why we said we were kings. Oh, I need to charge my laptop. Save the video. Don't die. Okay. I'm not sure why we said we were kings, as all three of us were girls, but I suppose that's the simplicity of being 18. This was also pre my extensive education on the binaries of gender. Oh. Growing up in a modern 21st century Sydney young adulthood, so if it were now, we might have said, "We are the queens of the world, but in an intersectional feminist sort of way that supports the equality of the sexes, the need for more women to ascend to positions of power, and the fluidity of the gender binary." I mean, come on, Kate. What is that about? Standing on top of a beautiful mountain overlooking a view of the old town, the river running by it, the dark green trees blanketing the mountains behind it, with two of my best friends, one of them my ex, was exactly what we needed to get out of ourselves and into our world. Although it was 5:30 a.m, we were all groggy and we were drenched in sweat from the hike up, I suddenly felt at peace. Staring at that view. Yeah. It was in this moment that I first recognized the power of nature. In its simple yet extravagant beauty, the sight of an enormous, wonderful piece of the world made me forget the worries of the man-made one that I live in. That I lived in. Yeah. The naivety of my adolescence, the relationship issues with my friends, the realization that we were alone on top of a tall mountain in a foreign country, all went away as we witnessed the sun rise behind the mountains. Maybe climb is nicer. This, I thought to myself, is what it means to be alive. Okay, so the pros about this, that I think it's got some humor in it. I think it's got some good storytelling in it. I've tried to set the scene. It's shown some cultural awareness, I suppose, with the whole rant about gender, which, like, I could have taken that away, but I suppose it just is what came to me at the time and I wanted to touch on it. But I also kind of used it as a bit of humor, so hopefully that came across. I always try and incorporate a little bit of humor into my anecdotes just so that it kind of like starts them out on a good note and leaves a good first impression. Yeah, it's, it's a risky sort of humor to take on, but hopefully it's a commentary and the marker realizes that it's a commentary on like kind of like the ridiculousness of learning like to be culturally sensitive and as you kind of like grow into the age of like 18 plus, which I've certainly felt. Then I've like told the story quite well. I've tried to start to hint at the thesis that I'm addressing, which is about the power of nature. And yeah, I think those are some good things about it. The maybe less good things about it, I probably could have described a little bit more the scene, gone into a little bit more detail about how it actually impacted us, how I might have felt that it solved our issues, why I felt the power of it, like kind of more intense description rather than wasting time with that gender thing. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of this. I think it's a good start to this essay that I want to write. It's a pretty good example of the kind of style of writing that I usually go for, which is a mix of like being honest, being genuine, and being a bit humorous. But yeah, haven't written anything in a while, so that said could not be great. But that's kind of the way that I write my first paragraph, to hopefully set the essay out on a nice note, leave a good first impression with the marker, and kind of set my essay up for the discussion of something a bit more deep and meaningful, which in this case is going to be about the power of nature. I hope that helped. I hope you guys took something from that. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you for the next video very soon.
So girls, move it around. If you see your main dog, get the brother up down and just come on. just real style, for real, and give it what you got, just